Good morning, everybody. You are currently listening to a Tall Girls podcast hosted by a tall girl named India. Today's a super special day because today is a Tall Girl podcast's 1-year anniversary. Well, tomorrow is, but there's no shame in celebrating it a day early because tomorrow is Friday. This episode is up on a Thursdays and episodes go up on Thursdays. So, you know what? Screw it. We're just going to say it's the 1-year anniversary one day early. I just want to say a big thank you to all my listeners here because without you guys, who knows where I'd even be right now. I honestly can't even imagine it, but I'm just so proud of how far we've come together and that I even made an impact, big or small, in your life, just as you guys have made an impact on mine. So cheers to 1 year and cheers to hopefully many more. So today I decided that we're going to do a little Q&A where I answer as many questions as possible that you guys have asked me on my social medias. By the way, totally follow me on Instagram, Pinterest, and TikTok at a Tall Girls Podcast so that you can take part in these episodes. Alrighty, so let's just get straight into these questions. Okay, so I feel like I don't really say this a lot, but someone asked, how old are you? Actually, quite a few of you guys asked me this question, but I'm 20. I just turned 20 a couple weeks ago. I turned 20 in April, and I'm no longer a teenager. I'm no longer in my teenage years, and I'm starting to feel a little bit good about it. So, yeah, 20. How tall are your parents? Oh my gosh, of course. One person would ask this question. Well, my mom is 5'7" and my dad is 6'1". So I'm dead smack in the middle in terms of height, which is very interesting because thinking about it, it's so funny that usually the kid is like shorter than the dad, or around the same height as the dad, at least girls, and they're taller than their moms. I feel like a lot of children end up taller than their moms, which is so weird. It's just so weird thinking about it, but yeah, smack dead in the middle of my parents. When did you stop growing? When I was 18, so about 2 years ago. Funny thing, actually, I thought I stopped growing when I was 16. But I remember this. I remember when I was 18, I used to have this long winter coat. It was a very long coat. And when I put my winter coat on, it used to go past my knees when I was like about 16. But one day when I was 18 and I put them on, it was way above my knees, like a good 2 inches above my knees. And I was like, huh? That wasn't like this before, and that's when I knew that I stopped growing. But since then, I don't think I grew anymore, and I am definitely for sure done by now. Favorite thing about being tall and least favorite thing about being tall? This is a really good one. I'll have to say that my favorite thing about being tall has to be being able to hide things on high shelves, especially snacks, especially my favorite snacks. Like whether I'm at home or I'm at school or when I used to be in camp, people absolutely loved taking other people's snacks. And I'm like, no, you're not taking my snack. You are not taking my snack. I have this snack for a reason, and it's because I absolutely love it. See, I have an obsession with food. I'm pretty sure a lot of people probably have obsessions with foods, but I love food. I love my food, and I will, by any means necessary, do almost anything to get food, and I will do almost anything, go to almost any extent to protect my food. It is sacred. It is very sacred to me, and I find it disrespectful when people think it's okay to steal my food. So I would put them in a high area, like a high shelf, or even hide it on in a high storage place in my closet or something like that, fully knowing that 90% of the people that are trying to steal my snack would not be able to see it because they're too short. Work smarter, not harder. Okay? So this is a little tactic for all you tall people out there who want to hide things from people. Now you know what to do, because if you're taller than them, you can hide it in a place where they can't see it because they're too short. Boom, you're welcome. And my least favorite thing about being tall. What is my least favorite thing about being tall? See, I don't know. I guess because I've been on this self-love, self-acceptance journey, it's kind of hard to find things that I dislike about being tall, because now I'm starting to like being tall a lot day by day. I'm finding that I like being tall a lot more. But I would say probably one of the most frustrating, one of the most annoying things about being tall has to be online shopping. I absolutely love online shopping. I may have an unhealthy addiction to online shopping. Every 3 seconds, I'm on some site, especially the ones that have tall sections. But I am on some site, scrolling through the tall section, or just scrolling through the clothes in general, looking to see what I can buy. And yes, I have broken my bank account several times. I'm actually going on vacation soon, and I have already started preparing for that vacation. And yes, my bank account is not doing well. But online shopping is so frustrating because it's really a hit or miss with what you buy. Like just recently, just this weekend, I got a bathing suit and a jumpsuit, thinking that the jumpsuit would be too short on me because the model was 5'6", and on the model it reached her ankle. So I was like, oh, this is probably not gonna fit me, but it's worth a try. And I thought the bathing suit would fit me because the model was actually 5'10", and I was like, okay, yeah, kind of know what to expect. But it was the other way around. Okay, the bathing suit was too short for my torso, which I find really weird because I don't really have a long torso. I have an average sized torso. It's more so my legs that are extremely long. So I just found it weird that the bathing suit was short on my torso, and the jumpsuit actually reached my ankles, which I was definitely shocked. And it's a really great jumpsuit. I really like it, so I was really happy with that. But I had to return the bathing suit and just get another one because that was ridiculous. So yeah, online shopping is just so weird, especially if you're tall. I'm 6'1" at 13, and I was wondering how to overcome people judging you and also good comebacks. I am actually doing an episode on tall girl comebacks next week. I have compiled a list, so stay tuned for that. And in terms of being judged, I would say talking nicely to yourself, like repeating positive affirmations, waking up and looking yourself in the mirror and saying like 1 or 2 nice things about yourself, what you like about yourself each morning. I feel like that really helps as well. It's super, super helpful because it'll stick in your brain. Like your brain will actually start to believe it because, repetition. When you repeat things over and over, you'll eventually start to have it memorized. Like when you listen to your favorite song over and over, you know all the words, all the beats. When you study for a test and you read the information over and over, it gets stuck in your head, it sticks in your head. So I would definitely say keep talking nicely to yourself, and eventually it will get through in your head. It takes time. It really does take time. And just remember that you're an amazing person, and what other people say about you is honestly false. It's only true if you believe it's true when it comes to you, yourself, and your personality. and surround yourself with supportive, amazing people. Okay. And I love your height, by the way. Okay. Next question is, what is one thing that you can do now that you couldn't do when you were insecure about your height? Okay, I guess in terms of confidence, something that I was insecure about doing before, but I'm not insecure about doing now. Wear any type of shoes that had like any type of height to it, like any type of heel. I used to hate being taller than everyone, but now I'm like, let's add a few more inches. I actually just ordered my first pair of platform sandals, and younger me would have never done that. But honestly, right now, I am super excited for it. So I think that wearing any type of shoes that has heels on it was something I would not have done before, but now I'm so willing to do. I want to have a collection of platform shoes, platform sandals, and I want to start building a collection of heels because why not? Do you have any siblings? Yes, I have one older sister. We were actually the exact same height at one point. We were both 5'10" at one point. But now, if you listen to one of my earlier episodes with my new posture, I may be taller than her. I actually should find out my new height. I want to find out my new height and tell you guys. I'm kind of excited to see. It should be interesting. But anyways, back to this Q&A. What are 3 things that you love to do? Eat, first and foremost. Like I said earlier, I have an obsession with food. Food is everything. Food is my life. Food gives you life. Food gives me life. So first and foremost, I love to eat. Secondly, I love to play music. I'm a musician. I play an instrument called the bass clarinet. If you don't know what that is, it is basically a long, skinny black saxophone, but it's really a clarinet. It's in the clarinet family. You should totally look it up because I cannot explain it any better than that, and I hate when people call it a saxophone. So definitely look it up. And it's a good instrument for tall people too. It is a good instrument for tall people because it's pretty long. Like, it's a good length. It has like a little stick. It's called a peg, where you can adjust the height to make it even taller depending on how tall you are. And it's really good for your long fingers. So if you're looking for an instrument to play, it's also a very unique instrument. So if you're looking for an instrument to play, you should totally play the bass clarinet. And I actually just signed up to be a part of a city band in the fall. So fingers crossed I get in, and I will probably let you guys know about that. And number 3 is taking super long walks. I find it very therapeutic, very nice to get my thoughts together. So taking long walks, especially like in the sun when it's warm, nice weather, and it's quiet. Oh my God, it's when it's quiet, because I live in a city, so it's hard to get any type of quiet. There's always car alarms, people yelling at each other, car accidents, stuff like that. So taking super long walks in the quiet is really good. So 3 things I love to do: eat, play music, and take super long walks. Do you think 5'2" at 13 is a decent height? It's the perfect height for you. Okay, all heights are beautiful and you are meant to be at that height right now. If you could pick your height, what would it be? The exact height I'm at right now, whatever it's at. Still haven't went to the doctor to get the new measurement, so gotta figure that out. But I wouldn't trade my height that I'm at right now for anything. I am absolutely in love with it, and I think I've grown into it pretty nicely. I guess my body needed to develop a little bit more. And for me, it's not too tall and it's not too short for my body. So I would choose the height I'm at right now. Do you make fun of short people as a joke and they don't get mad? Yes, more so to my friends. I don't really do it to strangers or people I've just met because I don't want them to think that I'm like mean, a mean psycho. So I try to keep it to my friends or even family members, like my mom or like close cousins, close family members that like understand my personality and know that I'm not trying to come for them. And I also try to keep it lighthearted. Like I don't outright make fun of their height like that anymore because I wouldn't want them doing that to me, because you never know who is feeling insecure about their height because they may never say it, they may never bring it up, they may never be open about it. And we don't want to make that insecurity worse, especially if you're just getting to know them. I feel like if you're super close to them, that's one thing, but if you're not super close to them and you don't know like if their height is an insecurity or not, I just don't think it would be like a good move, Like if it relates to the current situation, like what's going on right now, like let's say they can't reach for something, I'd crack a joke and they wouldn't get mad. But yeah, stuff like that. But honestly, if you don't make fun of your friends, are you really friends? Do you want kids or are you in a relationship? Yes, I do want kids. I feel like it would be very interesting to see who my spouse would be and how tall they are, and to see how tall our kids would end up. Like I said before, it's so weird, it's so strange. It seems like kids always end up taller than their moms. I'm like, would they end up taller than me? Can you imagine that? That would be so interesting that they would end up taller than me. That would be pretty tall. So, and that's not the only reason that I would want to have kids. Yeah, it's also the caring nature. I feel like everybody has a caring nature to them. Some people prefer pets, some people prefer kids, some people prefer friends or family or a significant other. So, but I feel like I would like kids. I don't know, baby fever is starting to hit me right now, but I'm not trying to have any kids right now because I'm still pretty young and there's a lot of things that I need to get together before I can even think about that. Am I in a relationship? I am not in a relationship. And funny thing is, I used to be so insecure about that because I would see all of my friends, all the people around me get into relationships and stuff like that. And there was one point where all my friends were in a relationship and my sister was in a relationship. And I was just like, oh my God, like I'm out here all lonely and stuff. But I don't know. I feel like now I feel okay with it. Like, there's just so much to realize that being single also has great benefits. Like, yeah, we want the companionship and affection and stuff, but I just have to think about the time and the effort and the money too. Because, you want to put the work into the relationship as well as with anything else. And I don't know, I feel like there was so much in terms of my life that I really needed to put the time and effort and money into first before I can get into a relationship, in terms of like how I view myself and my self-love and self-acceptance journey, and also like with school and my career and all that. I feel like I really needed to figure a lot of things out in that aspect so that when it's time for me to be in a relationship, I can be the best version of myself in a way, So, but now I also like don't mind being alone, There's a difference between lonely and alone. And lonely is like you're just not okay with being by yourself. Like, it's really hard to explain. You have to be with somebody else in order to be happy. That's kind of how I view loneliness, and I don't like that. I prefer the idea of being alone. You can find a friend in yourself, you can find a companion in yourself, and you make yourself happy, and you know how to do that. And I think I'm just starting to be in the phase of being alone, and I like that. I like spending time with myself. I like talking with myself and doing things with myself, by myself, just as much as I like hanging out with other people. So I feel like it's a good thing that I have not been in a relationship, because there's just so much about myself that I learned and that I needed to figure out in this time being. And I know that when the time is right and when it's supposed to happen, it will happen. So I don't know why I went into that spiel, because you just asked if I was in a relationship. No, I'm not in a relationship. But yeah, those are all of the questions that I have for today. Thank you so much to those who asked any questions and made this episode possible. You're awesome. You're super amazing. I hope that you are excited as I am for this 1 year anniversary for my podcast. Like, I still can't believe it. Can you believe it? Because I can't believe it. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. As usual, feel free to hit me up on my socials at A Tall Girls Podcast on Instagram, Pinterest, and TikTok. You can follow me on there for some awesome tall girl content, stuff that makes you laugh, cry, probably not cry, but more so laugh, smile, all of that. And also feel free to leave a review and let me know how tall you are. Everything will be linked below, so it's easier for you. Just head over to the description, just click on it, and bada bing, bada boom. Anyways, I appreciate you. You are honestly super amazing, and I will catch you in the next episode. Good night and goodbye.